Hey everybody, Mike at Back to Homesteading Off Grid, coming at you with another prime time video. Today we're gonna break from kind of the norm and we're gonna go to school. I know, you've been out of school a long time, you don't want to go back, but I'm going to show you how to save some money, especially if you're in the desert. Most people, when they need to pour some concrete, and I'm guilty, when I did the posts over here, I went to Home Depot and I bought several bags of concrete mix. Yeah, that's whatever, $10, $11 for a bag. Did you know that you can buy a bag of cement that is about $10 or $11 and it's going to go a lot further if you make your own concrete? Don't mix the two terms up. Cement is actually this dust that binds everything together. It becomes a paste and it glues everything together. The concrete is the finished product. If you're doing it like that, mortar would be a different recipe. So the standard in the industry, when you buy those bags, it's going to usually be a 1, 2, 3 mix. That's 1 scoop of cement, 2 scoops of sand, and 3 scoops of rocks. You can use a shovel, you can use a can. Most people just use a shovel. You just have to be fairly consistent on how much is in your shovel. It doesn't have to be exact. This is not an exact science. I'm going to use a can today, and I'm going to do a 1, 3, 3 mix. That's 1 can of cement, 3 cans of sand, and 3 cans of gravel. The sand I obviously got here on the property, so it's free, and that's most of what concrete is. And the rock that I have, the gravel that I have, I actually I sifted. I've got a gravelly area, and so this last winter I sifted and made a bunch of bags of gravel. And I told you about that in a previous video. I've got a lot of that gravel in the cinder blocks right now. So what I want to do is these cinder blocks here, you see they don't quite make it to the corner. So I've kind of done a pseudo form, just something that'll hold a little bit of concrete. And I'm going to concrete around these posts, not to make the whole thing not floating, but to keep rodents from getting in and stuff like that. Thought about using adobe. Funny story. Do you know what cement is made from? Cement is made from limestone and clay and a few other products in small amounts. And they cook it really high till it crystallizes, and then they crush it. And I guess that's where people have the problem environmentally wise. But the basic ingredients are basically the same as what's in adobe. It just goes through a different process. So I could have done adobe with this, but I don't want to have maintenance issues or anything. The concrete is permanent. The water is not going to wick up into the earth bags that I'm putting for the lower walls. So let's get started here. I'm going to turn this camera around, set it up, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make your own concrete and save a ton of money. I'll be right back. Okay then, so the 1, 3, 3 mix I'm going to do is 1 part of cement, 3 parts of sand, and then 3 parts of gravel. Now I'm going to do this out of order, so I don't want you to get confused. Let's get the sand in here. Oops. Try to clean the sand so you don't have a bunch of debris in it. The cleaner the better. Okay, so here's 1 can. And here's can number 3. I mean, look at how much I'm making here. Get this debris out. The less debris, the better. They wash the sand, so that is an advantage. I don't care about a little rock. All right, so that's my 3 cans of sand. Next, I have 1 can of cement. Remember, not concrete, it's cement. Watch out for the dust. Oh, I was going to put gloves on. Oh well. Okay, you see what I mean? 1 can to 3. And what I'm going to do now is, yeah, that's just cement too. I'm going to mix this stuff up before I add the rock. If you don't wear gloves, if you forget like I just did, just wash your hands after. I'm going to pull out any debris. That's a piece of paper from the bag of cement. Okay, so this is probably mixed good enough now. See, it kind of turns a grayish color. The reason I'm doing 1-3-3 instead of 1-2-3 is because that will make a 3,000 per square inch PSI mix, which is plenty strong for what I'm doing. In fact, I could even go further if I wanted. Now what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to do 3 cans of gravel. It's a little harder because of the bag I'm using. Spilled a little. There's 1. Now when you do this, you're probably not going to want monsters like this. So I'm going to pick those out. A little bit more. Okay, here's 2. I thought about stopping there. 2. I'm going to do it in a handful in and get rid of a couple more big rocks. And 3. Pretty much just a bag of the stuff like that. Now, I didn't do this with the intent of making concrete, so I've got these big boulders in here. And get rid of them. Because you want gravel that's, you know, probably not any bigger than that. All right, now I'm going to mix it up. Look up for what I took out and mix it all up. Okay, that's about how much you'd have in a bag of the ready mix. But this cost me about 50 cents worth of cement and a little bit of labor to get the sand and the rock. And you add your water, depending on how much you want to have to work it. I'm going to stop there and see what that looks like. Obviously, I'm going to need more than that. So this is about 3/4 of a gallon. Hopefully that's not too much. It's probably not. The more water you add, the more soupy it gets, and the weaker it'll get. So you want to make it fairly stiff, is what they call it. This is too stiff. You see it's not all getting wet. And I want it all wet. So let me run and get some more water. All right, I'm back. Now let's put some more water on here. I had about 3/4. Let's see where I end up with this. Actually, yeah, this is a gallon. I like it kind of soupy, but I do want it to be strong. And you want to just stir it around. I'll kind of speed this up so that you get all the dry wet. That's why I usually end up with it a little bit soupy. I don't try to, but I do. See, there's a dry spot there. I'm going to go ahead and add a little more. If I can remember, I'll pour this in a can so you can know how much I used. Oops. Don't spill it over the edge. There's a tile from the Native Americans. I found a lot of pottery pieces out here. Okay, see, that looks pretty good. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to add just a little more, I think. A little easier to work with. Make sure everything's wet. And if you get it too soupy, you can always add a little more sand. It's a little soupier than I like it, but it's about where I usually end up with it. Okay, so there you have it. Cost me about 50 cents. I'll put in the video how much water I used, because I'll measure that later. But I'm going to go ahead and pour this in the hole, and I'll show you what it looks like after it's poured in. Actually, I'll go ahead and show you. Oops. Okay, I decided to show you. I'm just scooping this out. If I had made less, I could have probably just poured it in. But I made a lot. So I'm scooping it in. I'll go through and do a little bit of pushing to make sure it gets everywhere. There's probably any in the back. That's our dog. You might not think you need much, but this is going to barely fill this hole with the amount that I had. That's one of the things, another thing about doing it yourself is if you only needed a half a bag, instead of trying to preserve that half a bag, you can make a half a batch. You know, just do a half a scoop and then 1.5 of the sand and 1.5 of the rock. Just about full. Damn it, dog. Your dog will get involved if you let him. And what a lot of people will do, or what you need to do next, is you get a thing and you smooth it off like this. I'm not going to do that. I'm doing earth bags above this, so I want it to be kind of rough to help the bags stick. I don't want them sliding around. Okay, see, I actually have more in there than I need, so it will come off. Make sure you clean up after you're done, because you will have problems if you don't. Your stuff will be permanently concreted. So that's how you do it. Measure it out. Get the supplies yourself. I don't know if you save money if you buy a bag of sand, buy cement, and buy a bag of rocks. This would be for those that want to save money and have sand that they can use, and some gravel. Now, how you would save money is if you're doing a big project, you can order a dump truck of the sand, a dump truck of the gravel, and then buy the cement. You'll see a lot of construction companies, if they don't have it actually delivered, the concrete delivered in a truck, you'll see a pile of sand and a pile of gravel that they use. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the next hole and try to get some of this work done today. Thank you for watching. I'd appreciate it if you would click like, share the video, which nobody ever does that I know of. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Watch our ongoing adventures out here in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hey everybody, just a quick little end to the video. It's the next day and I wanted to show you what it looks like. I won't take you around and show you all of them, but you see how much that looks like concrete, because it is concrete. That cement just completely took over. Of course, you have to have your initials, and I'll show you one more. It works out so well. For these 6 posts, I needed 1, 2, 3.5, 5 bags of concrete, which would have been $55 whatever dollars plus tax. Using this cement, I used about 1/3 of a bag, so $3. Let's go with half a bag, $5. The sand was free, the rock was free. I paid $5 for the amount of cement that I put into this concrete mix, and it's good. It's very strong. It didn't crack. Getting a little bit of rain, so there's a little bit of humidity because you want to keep it a little bit moist for a couple of days until it hardens up. But anyway, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.